All right, guys, we just finished the live stream, and now we're actually going to eat. No, we're going to eat it this way. It's just so good. Pulled chicken barbecue. So good. Oh yeah, guys, that was a yummy lunch. We're walking back to the Rocklands food truck there. Anyway, it is a Sunday and it is a quiet day in Washington. Labor Day weekend. I'm sure the mall is filled with tourists. I'm up in the northwest sector right now, but let's go grab a bike and head downtown and just see what it looks like, okay? So I just walked all the way down this street to get the electric bike, only to get here and at the last minute, some other dude's renting it. Stuck with the manual bike. Bummer. Big bummer. Oh, ambulance going by. Georgetown Hospital's right up here. Right here, guys, this is 37th and R. R is in Robert Street. And this location once had a U.S. Post Office mailbox. You know, those big blue mailboxes that you see all over the places. That mailbox has been removed, but it's kind of a shame because that mailbox played an essential role in one of the biggest spying scandals in Washington, D.C. history. A CIA operative named Aldrich Ames decided to become a double agent and spy for the Russians. And Aldrich Ames would come down here to the mailbox and make a little mark. That little mark was a signal to his Russian Soviet handlers who were up at their embassy there that he had information and they needed to get in touch with him. That was how he signaled his Russians. A little chalk mark on the mailbox that existed at this location. So here it is. Aldrich Ames, a former CIA counterintelligence officer, spied for the Soviets for nearly a decade. He used a mailbox at the northeast corner, which is that corner over there, northeast corner right over there, and that was his signal. He would make a horizontal chalk mark above the U.S. Postal Service logo. FBI followed him for years, and then they tracked it down, and he's now serving life without parole in the maximum security prison in Terre Haute, Indiana. Busted by a mailbox. All right, let's cut through Georgetown's campus, yeah? Why not? All right. I didn't want to come this way because I know there's steps down here and I gotta like roll the bike down the steps. You know, I could go down. I could just ride down these steps. Let me see. They're pretty good place. I gotta stop. The backpack came off. But the steps are about equidistance of the length of the vitals. I could have made it without the backpack, without a doubt. But with the backpack, that became a problem. All right, let's cut across campus and get our way over to the electric bike. That's the whole purpose of this ride. I overheard some of the girls talking that they don't have air conditioning in their dorm, and it's a bit humid today. I think that's why many of them are wearing basically bikinis. I don't think they're going to the pool. I think they're just trying to stay cool. People out reading on the quad. That's the main administration building over there, Healy Hall.
How are you? Oh, how are you? We're going to
Alrighty. And we're off campus. On our way. there's a kegger going on back there. You might have heard some of the music. That street's cobblestones. We're going to skip it. This is Holy Trinity School. This is a elementary school, Catholic school. This is Holy Trinity Church. This is where Biden goes to church and has gone to church since he was a senator. Whenever he's in DC, you'll see him there. Though it's not often. I would estimate maybe once a month he stays in DC, once every 6 weeks even. He's at Camp David today, and then he's off to Wisconsin, and then Pittsburgh tomorrow, coming back probably tomorrow night. All right, let's go find this electric bike if it's still there. We're on N as in Nancy Street, 35th and N, and we need to go down to about 29th and M as in Mary. So we're pretty close. Over here is the house that Jackie Kennedy moved into after John F. Kennedy was shot, but she only lived there a short time. This house over here was the home of Ben Bradley, the editor of the Washington Post, who published the Watergate scandal, broke through. That white building up there, that's called the Colonial, that's an apartment building. It's actually for sale. It was for sale for $14 million. And it was a hospital during the Civil War. Kind of a crazy place. Oh, no, this is 29th Street. Let's hang a right and go down to M and pray that our bicycle is still here. Alrighty guys, we are approaching the bike rack down here, where we're either going to be happy or grumpy. And I see an electric bike. I'm not sure that's the one that's fully charged, being that it's a weekend and a holiday. The charging teams are not on full duty. Oh, this pop-up burger joint is running today. Ooh, temptation. But I just had a sandwich, didn't I? Bummer. All right, let's Pony Express this bike for another one. All right, now we're gonna move over to the black one, pull out the app, and confirm that this is the right bike that we need. Bike number, what is the bike number? 585. Yes, it's got a 20-mile range. You see that 20-mile range? Scan this puppy. Release the bike. And it's mine. So this is the George Washington Emergency Room, the Ronald Reagan Institute of Emergency Medicine. Showed you the other day. This is where Reagan was brought when he was shot, and the doctors here saved his life. Got a couple Capitol Police cars outside. I wonder what happened. One of their officers or some other patient or something odd for Capitol Hill Police to be up in this location. Oh, this road needs to be replaced. Ugh. Bumpity bump bump bump. And in we go, Pennsylvania Avenue. Quite a number of tourists out here today. People taking pictures of the Eisenhower building, the old War Department / State Department. Most of the motorcade vehicles are out right now, though nobody's around. They're all up at Camp David. Let's see how many tourists we got today. We got a motorcycle gang of nerds on their Segways up here. Pretty quiet, just pretty much a normal amount of tourists for a Sunday. I think there'll be a protest later on Ukraine. There usually is a Sunday protest on Ukraine. And we got to figure a way to get through here without killing anyone. We'll make it, I guess. Segway nerds. Okay, we made it. We're alive. Jehovah's Witnesses out here proselytizing. And down we go. Is Roadrunner here today? No, the Roadrunner vehicle is not here. Not sure if that means it's up at Camp David as a backup in case they need to drive home or somewhere else. Is this the opera singer? No, it's a piano player. Beggars all have QR codes now. Guess it's a requirement. Guy sells the Let's Go Brandon flags and Trump 2024 shirts. I think he has a few Biden shirts. Let's go down this way. See what's up on the south lawn. Yeah, well, we got these tourists about to walk across the street. Maybe. Oh, I know what I wanted to go see. It's down on the National Mall. Let's go down there. There's a cool car down on the mall we're gonna go see. All right, there's your Washington Monument, being all monumental and whatnot. Some nice clouds today. But we're gonna go up halfway up the mall because there's this cool car I saw on the internet that's up there. Remember we saw some really cool cars last year? It was like a museum of cars was displaying stuff on the National Mall for everyone to see. Let's go check it out. So over there, those cranes, that's the Air and Space Museum. It should be opening again in about a month. I don't know if the whole museum is going to open or just part of the museum is going to open. Probably just part, given how much work they have left to do. But over here, guys, there is a car. Yeah, that is the fabulous Hudson Hornet. For those of you guys who watch Disney's Pixar and Cars, you're familiar with the Hudson Hornet, Lightning McQueen's coach and manager. 1952 Hudson Hornet. Stock car racing legends. So this is the Haggerty Drivers Foundation. They bring cars out here every year, cars at the Capitol. And it's a display of famous vehicles, often from movies, brought out to DC. 1952 Hudson Hornet. A straight six, 145 horsepower. Not most of it. Ends here.
Okay, go ahead. I'm coming.
It dominated stock car racing in the early years of stock car racing. Here he is from the movie. So that's down here on the National Mall. They'll rotate for the next couple weeks, I think, different vehicles from their collection. Let's go up to the US Capitol, see what's going on for the symphony concert, and then we'll spin back by the FBI and back out of the town. So I wanted to take you up to see the tent, but they have declared that a secure area. So we cannot go up unless we go through the metal detectors, magnetometers, etc., which I'm not going to do with all my bike and everything like that. So they're getting ready. People are already starting to funnel in for the concert, which will be, I think, at dusk, probably like 8 o'clock tonight. I'm not sure if it's going to be on PBS, public broadcasting, but it might be. Check your dial for the National Labor Day concert. The Memorial Day concert usually is, and the 4th of July concert is, of course. There we go. Oh, I think they have a free rehearsal too. Yeah, you can hear music. Normally they use these bicycle guys for riot control, but I guess they're going to use it for crowd management. I just realized my camera was off the last few minutes. Let's spin back out here. As we loop around the dome. We're actually in the shadow of the dome right now. Cool. It's a pretty good crowd out here of tourists. I don't think they're going to the concert. I think they're just taking pictures on the steps. Now, the other day I took you to see the Capitol stones. The Capitol stones came from this side of the Capitol, this area right here. Behind those columns, this is the area that was renovated, and the stones were removed from here, and they did basically a bump out. This little section that you see in front of you, that was bumped out from the original design of the Capitol, and they replaced some of those stones by taking them up to Rock Creek. That's my video. We'll put the link up in the description or up on the right there if you want to go see those Capitol stones, because they're going to be hidden away soon. The government is going to ship them off to a warehouse, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark style, and never to be seen by the public again. Ooh, I can't go this way. I can go down to the right though, through the traffic bollards. Must be 5 o'clock. It is 5 o'clock. I think the concert's at 8, so 3 more hours. Let's go down this street. That's the Frances Perkins Department of Labor. Frances Perkins was the first female secretary, cabinet secretary. She was FDR's Secretary of Labor. This is the Prettyman Courthouse. This is the district court for DC. This is where all the court cases start, basically. This is where Steve Bannon's case was. The January 6th people who are on trial, they're here. I don't know if there's any trials. They just had one last week, a big one. Got an ambulance coming, it's going to get loud. General Meade statue. Most of the statues around here are Civil War era. This is the archives, though this is really just their ceremonial offices. Their main archives building is out in Maryland. It's a giganto warehouse. This over here is the Navy Memorial. I showed you this the other day. Up there on the left is the Department of Justice, the Attorney General's office. Solicitor General is there, all the other Justice Department functions. And over here on the right is the FBI headquarters. And there's been a change at the FBI headquarters, guys. The construction fence is down. Let's take a look at this. So, for the last year or so, there has been a construction area set aside over here. They used to have a big crane in here, and they had a chain link fence with some barbed wire and a lot of equipment stored behind the fence, and it was just right down here. But now it's all gone. It's still pretty dirty. They haven't washed it off. Boy, this ambulance is trying to find a patient. Oh, we just did a U-turn. So there's a change. We got rid of that. I don't really know what their project was. You see, this building is going to be done away with. They're going to move the FBI either out to the suburbs or a new location in DC. This building is toast. I think the repairs that they did were like emergency repairs, like to keep parts of the building from falling off people's heads. I mean, it's really that bad and that beat up. But so they're not really going to pump much money into any maintenance projects at this physical building until they decide where they're going to be and what building they're going to be in. All right, let's cut across here in the shade because that's the old Trump Hotel. The Post Office Pavilion, now the Waldorf Astoria. The Trump Corporation sold the lease. It's actually U.S. government property. It's the U.S. government's old Post Office Pavilion. But they lease it out. They leased it out to the Trump Corporation, and then the Trump Corporation sold the lease to the Waldorf Astoria Corporation for a good profit. The lease is cheap. The lease was like $3 million a year or something like that. And I think that's what the leaseholder pays the federal government. Pretty good deal, yeah? Benjamin Franklin statue. All right, let's go down this way. Oh, we got 2 seconds to cross the street. We can make it more or less. They're doing K-pop. They're doing K-pop dancing still. Random dancing to BTS. 417. All right, let's just jump a subway, yeah? Sometimes it's faster. Okay, we had to pay with our phone, tapped in. Now we'll go down and grab a train. It'll take us back up into the northwest sector of town. Should take us about 10 minutes, which is about 20 minutes faster than if I was to bike the whole distance. And it's about the same price. Biking is 10 cents a minute or so. So we'll scoot. Is this gonna be our train? There's a train coming in, but there's 4 different lines here. Oh, it's our train too, yay! No waiting. Just board the train and go. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Except, we gotta go forward. Else we're gonna be miss the last car. Okay guys, we are on our last mile home on a scooter. Yeah, I just rented a scooter and we're gonna spin this last mile from the subway back to my house. All right, guys, that's Labor Day Sunday in Washington. Tomorrow's a holiday. There's not a lot going on. We'll still go out and make a video, though, because you guys like to watch them. We've got Marine One probably coming in late in the evening. Don't know where the vice president is tomorrow. And then next week, I think the Congress starts to trickle back to Washington. We'll be showing you it all. Thanks a lot for watching, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch you next time.